coming into this season, I predicted the Charlotte Hornets would be a 9th seed in the East, just barely missing the playoffs. I thought they had a chance to win the play-in. They even do have a chance at the 7th or 8th seed, but they're just a little bit too young. They need a little bit more time, and there are 8 teams in the East who are a little bit better than they are. However, we are now 7 games in. The Charlotte Hornets are 5-2, and they have the best offense in the entire NBA, despite the fact that Terry Rosier, arguably their best player last season, has only played 2 games, and in those 2 games, has played like crap. This team is not at its full power, and they are still playing phenomenal basketball this season. The Charlotte Hornets are legit, and I might have seriously underestimated them, so let me talk about it some more, alright? Miles Bridges has to be the player you start with when you talk about this team. Currently, the clear frontrunner for most improved player, and I know, it's only 7 games in, but this dude who was, I mean, let's just be totally honest here, Miles Bridges was a highlight dunk guy and an okay role player. That's really all he was last season. He could hit some shots sometimes. He did a little bit. He was a little bit of a Kyle Kuzma in a way, where the way he played didn't live up to his play style. He didn't have a true role on the team, and it worked. It worked for a young rebuilding team. He got a lot of good lobs from Lamelo, but I did not see this man turning into a 25-point-per-game scorer with 8 rebounds on 51% shooting. No way in hell did I see that, and I also didn't see him putting up 8 threes a game on 37%. Now, 7 games in, I will tell you all right now, okay? And I would bet just about anything on this. Miles Bridges is not going to finish this season averaging 25 points a game on this incredible efficiency. He's just not. He's going to come down to earth a little bit. Players don't really improve that much in the course of one offseason. But could this man finish as a 20, 21 point per game scorer on significantly above average league efficiency still? Giving you a lot of rebounds, a couple assists, 2 steals, and a block? Yeah, he freaking could, and he is 23 years old. I do not believe in the Miles Bridges as an all-star this season hype, but my goodness, this dude came out of nowhere. He was not anywhere close to my radar, and with my preseason pick of Michael Porter Jr. playing like garbage so far, the most improved player race is certainly open, and Miles Bridges may have grabbed a very strong early lead this year. Gordon Hayward, meanwhile, is doing his thing. He's not scoring too much, he's not a flashy guy, but he's giving you 18, 4, and 4 on very good efficiency, especially from 3. He's a great player, you all know what he does, he's not a bad defender. Fingers crossed he doesn't get injured, because I would love to see a full season of Gordon Hayward. I can't speak. I would love to see a full season of Gordon Hayward. We haven't gotten one in a long, long time, and I just want to see what this man can actually do when he stays healthy. I just want to see it. Kelly Oubre has played 5 of the 7 games so far. He's looking like a good fit on this team. He's a decent defender. He's shooting very well from 3, although I do think it's going to fall off a little bit. This guy is not a 40% 3-point shooter on 8 attempts a game. It's just not who he is. But if he can keep shooting above league average on an above league average amount of attempts, that and decent defense is all this team needs from him. It's all this team needs from him, because they have plenty of offense without him. Lamelo Ball, 20 years old, 19, 6, and 6 with 2 steals. He's shooting very well from the field. Well, let me rephrase. He's shooting very well from 3, which is a common theme with this team, and that is one thing that gives me pause. Hayward is shooting 50%. Oubre and Ball are both shooting 40% on 7 attempts a game or more, and Bridges is shooting almost 40% on 8 attempts a game. Those are really high shooting numbers for guys who maybe aren't actually that good of shooters. I mean, 50% from 3 is not a sustainable level for literally anyone, not even Steph Curry. So Gordon Hayward's going to fall down. Lamelo Ball, I don't think he's quite a 40% shooter, although maybe he is. Maybe he really is that good. If anyone on this team keeps up their shooting numbers, I think it could be Lamelo. But Kelly Oubre, he's definitely not a 40% guy. And Miles Bridges is not 37% on 8 attempts a game. He's going to cool off a little bit, because those are some James Harden level numbers right there. And even Cody Martin, who's only playing 23 minutes on this team, he's just a role player, shooting 47% from 3. Again, that's just not reasonable. Ish Smith shooting 50% from 3. Jalen McDaniels shooting 58% from 3, although he barely plays, so like his might be more sustainable simply because of low minutes. But there's a lot of guys who are shooting very, very well from 3 this season for the Hornets, and I just don't think they're going to keep it up. There is going to be a bit of a fall off with this team, and I'm going to call for this with the Knicks too. I'm going to make a Knicks video pretty soon, so look forward to that. Look, sometimes teams start the season hot and they just cool off a little. However, this team may be one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league this year. I don't want to be like crapping on the Hornets. This is not a negative video on the Hornets in any way. I'm just saying be realistic. You don't have this many guys shooting this well from 3, especially when none of them shot this well from 3 in the previous season. But like I said, they are shooting well. This team is playing great on offense. Their defense is not good. But when your offense is this good, your defense doesn't matter too much because the Hornets are not contenders. I'm sorry, they're just not. However, I do think I really need to rethink if I have them as a playoff team, because at this point, it's pretty hard to not have them as a top 8 seed in the East, especially when, once again, you consider that Terry Rosier has only played 2 games, and in those 2 games, he is only putting up 10 points on 33% shooting. Terry Rosier for the last 2 years has been a phenomenal borderline all-star level player, at least on the offensive end. We all know he has defensive issues. Him coming back is not going to help this team's defense in any way. But he's a great shooter. He's great at cutting to the basket. He's an efficient player. He's basically a poor man's Isaiah Thomas, and we're talking like prime Isaiah Thomas. He is a great, great player, and he's only going to make this offense more dangerous. I'm excited to watch the Hornets this year. I've seen a lot of people calling them the most exciting team in the league, and I don't know if I would go that far simply because there are so many great young teams in the league this season. You got the Bulls, you got the Grizzlies, which is being carried by John Morant. You've got a couple other teams, but man, the Hornets are fun to watch. I need to see some more games by them this year. I'm excited to see what they look like fully healthy, and man, I absolutely cannot say that this team is not going to be a playoff team in the East. I would feel dumb suggesting that right now. Cannot wait to see what this team does for the rest of the year. And yeah, I underestimated the Charlotte Hornets. Props to them.